Hello and welcome to Rathod Science Academy. Today in this session we are going to see current affairs of 1st November 2025. So let's get started with our discussion, guys. And before getting started, I want to make a small thing which is clear, which should be like clear. That is, in Saturday's newspaper there will be no opinion page and as well as no text and context. So the number of articles will be normally less in this Saturday's newspaper. So first of all, let us see the important articles of the day. First one is India-US sign pact to enhance defense ties. This article is talking about India-US relations, and this topic is important from international relations. As you all know that in yesterday's class also we discussed that India gave relief from sanctions for India regarding Chabahar port. And again, one more advancement between India and US is we are going to enhance defense ties. Okay, that means we can add these all current affairs in international relations notes wherever you are dealing with this India-US case. And next topic here is Union Health Ministry sets 3 Guinness World Records. So here our Union Health Ministry came up with certain programs. For that programs, our health ministry got 3 Guinness World Records. It is one of the achievable and marvelous thing that our Union Health Ministry achieved so far. So you have to see about what are those 3 programs and how they led to get this Guinness World Record. So this is very important from your governance from GS paper 2. In governance, we have this health education topic, right? So there you can add this topic. And next topic is Navy monitors every Chinese ship entering Indian Ocean region. So this article is talking about how our Navy is improving its surveillance in this Indian Ocean region. So here you have to see about what are the threats in our Indian Ocean region, how our Navy is monitoring those activities in this region. And this topic is important from international relations, again from your GS paper 2. And even we can connect this article with even science and technology. And here we have to see about what are the equipments that our Indian Navy is using. And not only that, this is very important from our defense point of view, also from GS paper 3. And next topic is the case for abroad of peace and sustainable security. So this article is talking about United Nations Security Council, guys, and this topic is important from your GS paper to international relations. Okay, now let us see the first article. Look at the title, read the title, guys. India-US sign pact to enhance defense ties. So this article is important from India-US relations. So this topic is important from India-US relations, and it is important from GS paper 2 under IR, guys. So what you have to see? You have to see about history of India-US relations, and not only history, you have to see about what are the areas of cooperation between this India and US. And next you have to see what are the challenges we are facing between India and US. And next you have to think about way forward. Apart from this, you have to see what is the present context, what is happening between India and US. Okay, so if you see about these challenges, one of the challenges is going to be addressed through this present context. Because of this, it is in news. So what are the challenges between India and US? We know 50% of tariff issue is there between India and US. And apart from that, Russia came up with, US came up with this Russia Sanction Act of 2025. It is also having impact between India and US. And not only that, Iran's nuclear deal or JCPOA is also one important problem for India because it is imposing sanctions on India for this Chabahar port. And apart from this, we are having trade related issues also. And regarding India and US is sending back Indians, and even we have H1B visa restrictions. So all these are the different challenges we can see in between India and US relations. And now the present context is saying that we are going to have a defense deal. We are going to have a defense deal between India and US now. Okay, so to understand this present context, how and why our India is moving towards US regarding defense deal is, so from which countries we are going to get our defense? Majorly from Russia. Yes, we are getting our defense majorly from Russia. So from Russia, we are going to get this S-400 Triumph missiles, and recently we also signed helicopters deal, right, with this Russia. Already US came up with this Russian Sanction Act. Because of this, there is also impact on India-Russia defense also. And actually what is happening in Russia, Russia-Ukraine war is going on. So because of this, can we expect timely delivery of equipment? No. If there is no proper timely delivery of equipment, or it will be having obvious the impact on our security issues, because we are not sharing border with our friendly nations. So we are sharing border with Pakistan and as well as China, which are like enemy nations for our country. We don't know like when we are going to have a threat from these two countries. Okay, so because of this, yes, India is moving towards US for defense. And also India is having fear of tariffs. If you're going for this defense deal with this Russia also. And even US and India, they are having one common enemy. What is that common enemy? China. So to counter this China also, these two countries should be together. So for that, they are going to come up with this defense deal, guys. So now let us see what this deal is about. If you say context, it says that in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, Asian Defense Minister meeting is going on. In this Asian Defense Minister meet, our Defense Minister and as well as US Defense Minister, they came up with a deal. That name of that deal is Framework for US India Major Defense Partnership, and this deal, it is non-binding, that is no need of following that, but it is for 10-year roadmap, that is from 2025 to 2035, to transform bilateral defense ties. Okay, so you have to make a note of this Framework for US India Major Defense Partnership, and it is a 10-year roadmap for improving of defense ties between India and US, and that means it is a long-term defense cooperation that is going to be there between India and US, and it is non-binding, guys. If you see the key pillars of this defense deal, there are 5 important things that you have to remember. First one is we are focusing on coordination and intelligence. We are going for real-time information sharing, and we are going to have joint mechanisms, joint exercises regarding this defense. And this one is we are going for improving of technology and innovation. Especially we are focusing on emerging technology like cybers and as well as AI, and even we are going for co-development and transfer of technology, everything. And third one is defense industry. Especially we are going for joint production of drones, because as you all know that drones are very important in this present warfare. That is a lesson that we learned from this Operation Sindoor, because Pakistan got 300 plus drones from this Turkey, and Pakistan used these drones against India in this operation, right? So here we are also focusing on these drones now, and not only that, different engines and as well as different equipments, so that we can focus on Make in India integration as well. And this one is we are focusing on interoperability. That means we are focusing on exercises on land, on air, and as well as on sea or water, and even space and cyber domains, so that we can improve operability between India and US. And this one is we want to focus on maritime security also. We want to increase our awareness in this Indo-Pacific region. As you all know that the power shift happened from west towards east. Earlier the power was to be present in this Atlantic Ocean. Now entirely the power is shifting towards this Indian Ocean region, and day by day there is increased prominence of this Indian Ocean. Why? Because of increasing of trade, and even major populated countries were present in this Indo-Pacific region, and major economies are there in this part of Indo-Pacific region. So because of this, the power is slowly shifting towards this Indo-Pacific region, and especially to increase the dominance in this Indo-Pacific region, we need to have obviously the good relationship between the countries which are sharing this border with this Indian Ocean Pacific Ocean region. So all these are the 5 pillars of this 10 years of roadmap between India-US defense. And why it was signed now, it is first important reason here is to counter China. So China is a primary driver, right? So there is increasing of aggression in this Indo-Pacific region, especially in the South China Sea, Ladakh, etc. And this one is we want to decouple defense from the trade wars. Especially now US is imposing 50% of tariffs on Indian goods. The main reason here is Russian Sanction Act. Second one is protectionism policy of US. So if you want to decrease that kind of trade war tensions and if you want to improve the trade war, so we have to reduce this tariff. How can we reduce tariff? By having good deals with US so that we can get exemptions. And next one here is, yes, India is also need this kind of defense strategically, defense equipment strategically, because mostly we relied on Russia. But Russia is in war. We are not getting that equipment on time. The delivery is not happening on time. So because of this, there is delivery. There is delay in delivery. So that what happens if you're completely relying on this Russia, so it will be a major security threat for our country. So because of this, we are focusing on self-reliance by using this US technology through this deal. And next one here is US is also focusing on Indian markets and they want to focus on rules based order. And for US, India is very much required to counter China. So because of this, US also come forward to come up with this kind of deal. Yeah, that is the thing, guys. And see this article, very important article of the day, especially in your health from GS paper 2, you may get a mains based question regarding this topic and you have to very much clear and you can use this article as an example, guys. Title says Union Health Ministry sets 3 Guinness World Records. Okay, so let us see in which areas they got, what are those programs and why Union Health Ministry got this award. Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare announced 3 Guinness World Records. Okay, for what programs? Here we have Swasth Nari program. Second one is Sashakt Parivar Abhiyan. Okay, and actually through these programs we are focusing on improving health of women, healthy women, and we are focusing on empowered family campaign. And these are the programs launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi from September 17th to October 2nd, 2025 during this Poshan Ma. And in this program, it mobilized India's largest women-centric health drive in the world. So because of this, they got this award. And if you see what are the key findings happened in this time is, they went for identifying of hypertension related cases, diabetes related case of 1.73 crore in India, oral cancer, that is mouth cancer related cases. They went for identifying TB in women and sickle cell anemia cases, anemia test. So we reached like crores of patients individually, like hypertension like 1.78 crores, diabetes 1.73 crores, oral cancer, this mouth cancer cases around 69.5 lakh cases, and especially women TB cases are around 85 lakhs. So we reached lots of population within a very less time. And not only these cases were identified, even they went for antenatal checkups. Antenatal antenatal checkups are nothing but after the delivery, especially pregnant women, they need to have the proper health checkups. What happens after delivery is there will be sudden drop of hormones in the body. So because of this, they will be having lots of problem. Sometimes after delivery, women will also get certain kinds of infections in their reproductive system. So for that, at least for 3 months, they need to have this antenatal checkups. So for that, they did around 62.6 lakhs of antenatal checkups in India. And even they focused on improving of vaccines. Around 1.43 crore doses had been given. And this one is they also went for giving of counseling for the patients. There are around 2.14 crore sections that had been conducted in India. And even 2.68 lakh TB volunteers came up to identify TB cases in women. So because of this large scale health drive, finally our union ministry got this Guinness record now. So why it was launched, what is the reason? Women as a health pillar. So 30% of women, they miss screenings. For example, for non-communicable diseases and even for the cancers, even anemia, TB, especially rural women, they will be not having proper access to this healthcare. So they did this drive to target this woman in these areas. And next one here is they also came up with giving of health IDs, and that led to the digital revolution of around good population in India, and they went for Poshan Mass Synergy. So they are focusing on nutrition, along with that they are focusing on preventive care. So what is this preventive care? So we have to prevent the disease before attacking the human. So how we can prevent? We have to go for proper vaccination so that we can prevent that diseases. And this one is after this COVID-19, even we are going for improving of our screening of non-communicable diseases. What are those non-communicable diseases? The diseases which will be not spread while communication. For example, you may have like lung diseases or kidney diseases or like cancer, etc. Diabetes mellitus and hypertension, heart disease, all this will comes under NCDs. So after this COVID-19, so we are focusing on especially non-communicable diseases. Okay, so for this we got this Guinness record, guys. And say this article, Navy monitors every Chinese ship entering Indian Ocean region. So here you have to see about Indian Ocean region, and you have to see about what are the challenges in Indian Ocean region. Now you guys tell me what are the problems we face in this Indian Ocean region. So this is our Bay of Bengal. This is our Arabian Sea, and this is our Indian Ocean region. So are we facing any problems in this waters? What are the problems we are facing? Problems of piracy. Piracy is nothing but hijacking of ships. Next, terrors are entering into India through this waterways, especially Mumbai terror attacks. Terrorists enter into India through the sea routes. Next, come on. Yes, human trafficking is also happening, and especially what is happening here is whatever the waste which is there in other countries, they are bringing and they are dumping. Yes, dumping of waste. Next, even we have this problem called as plastic pollution, and in major oceans we have this Great Pacific Garbage Patches. Next, spying is happening. Spy. So recently, do you know advancement which happened in China? So China, they came up with jellyfish robot. Have you identified that? Do you know that? So it is resembling like same jellyfish only. It is having just 56 grams of weight and 12 centimeters is its diameter. And if they are live in the water, so they will travel. And whenever they are traveling in our waters, we have our submarines, we have our cables, underwater cables, and we have pipelines. So if China is releasing that, then if it is coming into this Indian Ocean waters, can it identify our major defense related things in the water? So what happens? That will be giving information to Chinese authorities, and China will come and they may attack those. So it will be like a severe security threat for our country. So because of this, who will be guarding our waters? We have Navy. Navy will be guarding our borders, right? So Navy is saying that whichever the ship which is coming into this Indian Ocean, we are monitoring that ship, because nowadays Chinese, they are using spy ships in this South China Sea region and as well as in this Indian Ocean region. So because of this, our Navy is always alert regarding that. So that is the thing which mainly said by this article, guys. And this topic is important from your defense, and even you have to see which kind of instruments or infrastructure or equipment which is used by Navy, guys. That is very important. Okay, now let us see this article. If you see the context, it says that at a curtained reserve for International Fleet Review Milan 2026 exercise. In this exercise, our Navy chief, he said that yes, Indian Navy is monitoring each and every Chinese vessel and even naval ships, research ships, etc., which are entering into our Indian Ocean region. So they are having a complete eye on the ships of these Chinese which are entering into our Indian Ocean region. That is the thing which mainly said by this Navy chief. So if you see the details, why we have to focus on each and every ship in this Indian Ocean region which is coming from China. The reason here is especially there is increasing of Indian Ocean region encroachment by China. China is coming up with one project called as String of Pearls. So in this String of Pearls, what it is going, it is developing different ports in this Indian Ocean region. Why? To increase its dominance in this Indian Ocean region. To counter that, yes, we need to have a clear-cut eye on this movements of this Chinese ships or vessels. And this one is after Operation Sindoor. Operation Sindoor is between India and Pakistan. So Pakistan's best friend is China. So here China is backing Pakistan and actually they want to retaliate this. So because of this always we have to monitor these movements. And this one is we want to secure our sea, lane, ocean routes also. So for that also we are increasing our eye on this Indian Ocean region. And even if you see globally also we are improving our infrastructure. We are getting aircrafts, we are getting more frigates, we are focusing on development of submarines, everything. So because of this always whatever the infrastructure which is there for our navy in this waters, that should be obviously need to be protected. So for that here our navy is having a good eye on this things, guys. So now let us see the next article, and this is the very important article of the day, and you may get even prelims question based on this, guys, and keep star mark for this. Title says the case for a broad of peace and sustainable security. So this article is talking about ensuring of peace and stability. How can we ensure peace and stability? How can we ensure peace and stability across the world? Which organization is responsible for that? UNSC, yes or no? United Nations Security Council is responsible for establishing of peace, stability and security across the world, right? So is it working properly? So what is the problem in this United Nations Security Council is membership. How many members we have? Total we have 15 members. Out of that we have 5 permanent members. They are called as P5 members, and other 10 members are temporary members. Okay, temporary members will be having tenure of 2 years. After 2 years again elections will happen and they have to elect the people under this temporary. So actually we have 10 members now. So for every 5 members, every year the election will be conducted. Okay. 5 members, they will be conduct elections, and after that next year again for remaining 5 members they will conduct elections. So obviously they will be having 2 years of tenure base. The problem with this United Nations Security Council is veto power. So these 5 countries have this veto power. Veto power is nothing but if any proposal is coming to this United Nations Security Council, if any one of these 5 countries say no, then that resolution will be cancelled. So in this P5, so we have Russia, we have China, we have US, guys. So actually, in which areas there is no peace, no security? Russia and Ukraine crisis is going on. Russia is the member here. If any resolution, if we are producing in this United Nations Security Council to stop this war, will this Russia says okay? If it says no, that will be calm down, right? And even if anything against Pakistan, if we are introducing that, China will be backing that. Will that be passed? No. So like this, the countries, especially P5 countries, they are supporting certain countries. So because of this, they are using their veto and they are not allowing to pass resolution. So because of this, United Nations Security Council, it is like having a big challenges. It is not establishing the peace and security across the world. So now what is the solution? What can it do? Think, guys. So now this organization is not working to its full potential. So what are the aims and objectives for which it formed? It is not achieving that. So now you guys tell me what it can do. it came up with one more panel, guys. So that is about our today's news. Okay. So because of the challenges it is facing, now it came up with establishment of one panel. So please make a note, guys. That is BPSS. So please make a note, that is BPSS. Yeah. Okay, see the context, guys. A new United Nations General Assembly subsidiary organ to sustain peace after conflict and ensuring political continuity from ceasefire governance, and they are focusing on development. Actually, they came up with one subsidiary body of United Nations General Assembly, that is BPSS. So 1 minute, I'll tell you the full form. Please make a note of it. Okay, write down BPSS, a board of peace, a board of peace and sustainable security. BPSS is nothing but a board of peace and sustainable security. So you may get question regarding this, guys. Recently, BPSS is in news. What it is? Who are the members? And whether they have the veto power or not. It is binding or not binding. So like that, you will be getting questions regarding this BPSS. It is very, very important advancement in this United Nations, guys. So be careful with that. So BPSS is a board of peace and sustainable security. Okay, so please make note down of that points. It is new UNGA subsidiary body. It is focusing on especially peace and conflict resolution, and it replaces episodic diplomacy with institutional memory, and it is focusing on peace building commissions, and there are 24 states under this, and the tenure of this 24 members is 2 to 3 years, and they are elected by United Nations General Assembly from different countries like Africa, Asia, Europe, Latin America, West Asia, and there is no permanent member. So if there is no permanent member, there is no veto. So because of this, we are expecting that at least through this body, we can ensure peace and conflict resolution in the world, guys. So what are the roles and responsibilities, or what is the mandate of this? The first one is they have to monitor and they have to track all peace agreements, and even they have to publish now Peace Sustainable Index. Now we are going to have a new index, that is Peace Sustainable Index in the world now. And next one is we have to focus on diplomacy as well. So we have to take the states, United Nations agencies, and as well as regional organizations, and we have to align with different multilateral organizations like World Bank, UNDP, and as well as United Nations Security Council. And even we have to focus on now to prevent conflicts across the world, guys. So we have to provide early warning signs, and we have to trigger United Nations General Assembly emergency sessions also. And this one is we have to build sustainable governance, we have to support elections, and we have to achieve our sustainable development goal 16, that is peace and justice. And we have to go for promotion of regional integration, and we have to mandate cross-border trade, refugees, etc. And we have to focus on even peace building mechanisms, peace building commissions as well. So these are the mandates or roles and responsibilities of this new subsidiary organ of United Nations General Assembly. It is very, very important topic of the day. Yes, these are the important articles that happened in our today's Hindi newspaper. By this I'm concluding. Thank you so much guys for watching, and please do like this class and share this class, and do subscribe to Rathod's IAS Academy, and please do follow us on our Telegram channel where we are providing notes, and as well as you can follow us on our Instagram page where we are providing current affairs in shorts, guys. Thank you so much for watching.